Hi guys, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm in the middle of a full-blown panic attack. I promised myself when I would do this series, which is basically my book, I would tell everything. So I have a problem when I go to sleep at night. I've had this as a kid and it gets worse as I get older. I have something called central sleep apnea. That's a lot different than you see with people with masks on their face. I have a mask too, but it's for a different reason. Oh, there's a lot of adrenaline in my system right now and I'm really uncomfortable and I want to like freak out and run around. It's a chemical thing. So when I fall asleep so deeply that my brain forgets to tell my body to breathe. I basically suffocate in my sleep. Sleep apnea, when people have, the word apnea in Greek, Vangelis told me this, means death or little death. When people have sleep apnea, their tongue goes to the back of their throat, and this is your airway when you're breathing. It basically closes and cuts off your sleep. I have a different situation. I had it as a kid. I fall so deeply asleep, my brain doesn't send a signal to my lungs to breathe. And what do I have to wear when I go to sleep at night? I have a special machine, and that machine helps me breathe, because if I don't do that, I'd choke. Sometimes the machine doesn't catch my sleep, my breath, and I stop breathing anyway, especially when I'm very tired or under a lot of stress. And this is what I wear on my face. This hose attaches to a special machine. It's like a sleep apnea machine, but it's a lot different. Sleep apnea machines are like $500. This thing's like $4,500. It shoves air into my nose. I could also wear a mask, but this is more comfortable for me. And it shoves air down in my throat and keeps my airway open and shoves air into my lungs, like a sleep apnea machine. But instead of that, it also monitors every breath. And if it notices I don't breathe, it rams stuff down my throat, releases the pressure so my lungs could release, and then rams it down my throat again, and then releases it. I'm asleep during all this, I'm unconscious. Oh, the fucking adrenaline. Oh, God. I thought I would be very real and just tell you this stuff as it's happening. And when my air supply gets shut off, your body releases adrenaline and says, wake up, you're choking. My sleep doctor told me, and yes, I have something called the sleep doctor. He monitors this thing. He told me this is like what the feeling you get like when you're waterboarded. You're basically cut off from your air. You're suffocating and drowning. Now I'm asleep and I don't know this is happening until the point where my body just squeezes all this adrenaline into me and says, wake up. And then the fight or flight syndrome kicks in and you're like, oh my God, I gotta run. Gotta get out of here. I gotta, it makes me feel like I want to run out the house and run around the block or something, because all this adrenaline is in my body, and fear kicks in because you've just been suffocated. Picture somebody holding your head underwater until the point where it's no longer you breathing, and that's when I stop breathing. And depending on how long that is, I could stop breathing for up to a couple of minutes. I remember when I had a sleep apnea test, they literally told me that I stopped breathing something like 150 times or 200 times a minute, or something like that, something like really insane. He showed me the chart where the needle, is moving, and it's like a solid black thing. So I'm just being very real right now. I'm telling you as it's happening. I'd wake up in the middle of the nights as a kid, 5, 6 years old, and I would go screaming into my parents' bedroom. because I stopped breathing and I would have these adrenaline things surge through my body. And for years and years and years and years and years, I suffered with this. It took mental health things. I mean, because I was sleeping in 20-minute cycles and hour cycles. It got so bad that I was having panic attacks all throughout the day because my nervous system was shot, and I didn't understand why. Well, I had no sleep. I had no deep REM sleep, and it took effect on my nervous system. Anyway, it's a very uncomfortable situation. It's a brain disorder, and there's nothing they can do about it but give me a machine. And I got a bad case of central apnea. All right, I gotta go run around. I know it sounds crazy, but I gotta get the adrenaline out of my system. I'm shaking and I'm really uncomfortable, and I'm frightened. But I've been going through this for 60 years. You think after a while you'd be like, all right, I get used to it, but anyway, we'll talk some more about all this kind of stuff later. Thank you guys for watching. I'm just being very real and posting stuff as it happens. Thanks.